Have you ever felt just completely lost? Overwhelmed by a crisis that shakes you right to your core? Well, today we're going to dive into one of humanity's oldest questions, and it finds its most profound answer on an ancient battlefield in the Bhagavad Gita. And believe me, this isn't just ancient history. It's a timeless guide to understanding our own existence. Yeah, that's because the crisis faced by this warrior, Arjuna, thousands of years ago, it's really a mirror for our own lives. His total confusion, staring down an impossible choice, it perfectly reflects our own search for meaning and purpose in a world that often feels, kind of fragmented. These are the big questions that Arjuna's dilemma brings bubbling to the surface. And they're the same ones we ask ourselves, right? Why do we feel unfulfilled even when we get what we thought we wanted? Why does it feel like the challenges just never stop? But see, these questions, they aren't a sign of weakness. They're actually the very start of a much deeper search for truth.
So let's set the scene. We're on this massive battlefield, Kurukshetra. On one side, you have the great warrior Arjuna, a guy known as the unconquerable archer. But the army he's supposed to fight, well, it's filled with his own family, his teachers, his friends. And in that moment, he just completely falls apart. But listen, this is more than just losing your nerve. Arjuna's entire identity, everything he thought he was, it just shatters. He's a warrior who can't bring himself to fight, a leader who feels totally powerless. His mind is, as the text says, completely bewildered. And it's this total collapse that opens the door for a much, much deeper teaching from his guide and charioteer, Krishna. Krishna's answer starts by completely reframing the problem. He doesn't give him a pep talk or say, "You can do it." No. Instead, he introduces this radical idea, the huge difference between our physical form and our true, essential self. This, right here, is the first key to unlocking the whole puzzle. Okay. So here's the crucial point. The body, which we almost always mistake for our entire being, is temporary. It's born, it changes, it gets old, it perishes. It can be hurt. But the self, that inner consciousness, often called the Atman, that is eternal, it's indestructible, it's the constant, silent witness behind all the chaos of the body and mind. The text really drives home just how indestructible this inner self is. It says no weapon can cut it, no fire can burn it, no water can wet it, and no wind can dry it. Now, that's not just poetry. It's a powerful declaration of the soul's absolute invulnerability. And this leads to a pretty mind-blowing conclusion. Krishna tells Arjuna that for someone who's truly wise, there's no reason to grieve. Why? Because our existence isn't just stuck in this one single lifespan. The essence of who you are actually transcends the timeline of your physical body. We were, we are, and we will be. So if we aren't our bodies, then what exactly is this eternal soul? The teaching goes deeper now, exploring the relationship between our individual soul, the Atman, and the bigger cosmic consciousness, the Paramatma. The text defines the Atman, or the self, as that state of pure being you experience when all that constant chatter in your mind, what the source calls the frequency of thoughts, finally drops to zero. It's that quiet, aware space behind all the noise. The part of you that has always existed and will always exist, way beyond our daily worries and anxieties. Now, to explain this, the text makes a distinction between the Jivatma, which is our individual soul, and the Paramatma, the universal superconsciousness. A really great way to think about this is like a single wave and the ocean. The wave, the Jivatma, it has its own unique form for a little while, but it's never, ever separate from the ocean, the Paramatma. In its very essence, it is the ocean. And the text just comes right out and says it. Arjuna is called Nara, the human, and Krishna is Narayana, the divine. This makes it crystal clear that the human is a direct reflection of the divine. Our individuality isn't some illusion. It's a real manifestation of a much greater universal reality. Okay, so this is all some pretty deep philosophy, right? But how does it actually help us in our day-to-day lives? See, the Gita isn't just a book of ideas. It's a practical manual. The text lays out a path to apply this knowledge, a path it calls completion. So what is completion, or purnatva?
It's basically a state of being fully present. Now, this doesn't mean you forget the past. It means the past no longer has its hooks in you. The guilt, the anger, the pain from things that happened, they no longer run your life. You're free from that hangover of yesterday. The path to get to this state is about reclaiming all those scattered pieces of yourself that you've given away to old regrets, conflicts, and memories. It's about bringing all of your energy back into the present moment. That's what allows you to become an integrated, whole individual again. This whole journey of understanding, from seeing yourself as just a limited body to realizing you're an eternal soul connected to everything, it all leads to a really powerful and transformative conclusion. It's the ultimate message that Krishna gives to Arjuna and by extension to every single one of us. So after breaking down all the illusions of limitation, of fear, of grief, the text builds to its most empowering and direct statement. It's a revelation that honestly changes the entire context of what it means to be human. And there it is. The core teaching isn't just that you should worship the divine, but that you need to realize you are divine. This is the absolute peak of the knowledge in the Gita. It's a wake-up call to your own highest possibility, to understand that the very essence of the cosmos is right there inside of you. And so we're going to end with this question for you to really think about. If you accept this principle, that your true self, your core, is eternal, that it's unharmed by life's chaos, and that it's fundamentally divine, what changes? What fears just fall away? What new possibilities open up? What are you truly capable of right now?